What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James underscore 36, and this is Big Games B.S, part of Den Media Group, presented by what the hell? Presented by MFTKFoundation.com. MFTKFoundation.com is um, the website of my foundation, where you can give donations for 7-on-7 or the book bag drive. This year we're going to expand it. We have expanded it. We did 7-on-7. I'm going to start adding things for pictures and gallery for what we did this year with the sponsorships. But the book bag drive this year is going to be a huge undertaking. 4 cities. We had meetings with Tampa, so hopefully that Tampa one is going to be off the chain. And we're going to do some big stuff. Like, man, I use a word that I don't even know if people even use that anymore. But whatever, it's going to be off to something. That's the goal. And yeah, just go check out the website. You can donate there. You can find out more about us. One of the weird things is that, is people listening to only one part of what they want to hear about the foundation. Like, there was a weird interaction. And I'm wearing my Bowls lacrosse stuff. This is not Gator stuff. This is not to celebrate the Gators win. Sorry. It's comfortable. It's a lightweight sweatshirt. It's like doesn't know what it wants to be in Florida right now, if it's cold or if it's hot. I just threw this on to go drop the kids off at school. And to obviously get my coffee. But there's some people who hate because we went into 7-on-7 and we did a really good job in the 7-on-7 space. Kudos to everybody who was involved with it. Between Domo National, between all of those different things. Shout out to everybody. But a guy was just like, Mentors for the Kids is the official 501c3 organization. That is the company. MFTK can stand just like a lot of acronyms and things. Like, what is it, like LANK? Was it let a naysayer know? It can also stand for, if you choose to let it stand for, I'll say it. Let a nigga know. MFTK also can stand for, man, fuck them kids. But when somebody dislikes you, like the people who know, and the people who are with it. But man, oh man. One thing I told somebody, I must try to be humble all the way through 2025. But in 2026, I'm not being humble anymore. Or as humble. I'm gonna let naysayers know. And when you come on here and you try to talk that bullshit, you're gonna get all the fucking attention in the world that you was looking for. I'm gonna start teaching fast lessons to slow learners. And what I mean by that is a dude came on here like, I didn't know you coached at Bowls. I didn't know you coached at Bowls. Like with the little laugh, I'm like, bitch, where the fuck you been? If you, as much as you be following my social media, you don't know I've coached at Bowls for the last 4 years. Well, I ain't never seen you on the sideline. It's like, because I get to travel and coach the playoffs because I'm good at my fucking job. If you were good, maybe you could do those things. Oh, with MFTK philosophy. Like, and I know he told somebody that, do you even know what MFTK stands for? And I told his ass, I want to see you out east. I want to see you in the hood when we do our fucking book bag job. But all that weird fucking energy that, and it be from it's from the blacks. The whites don't do this shit. And it's aggravating as fuck. Because it shouldn't be like that. It should not be like that. But, whatever. Like I said, let a naysayer know. But MFTK Foundation, if you really want to know what we're about, it's right there. It's literally there. You can pay attention to it. You can choose not to pay attention to it. You can participate. You can not participate. I don't really give a fuck what you do or what you do or what you don't do. But I show people what I do with my money, and this is a part of what we do with the funds that are raised through the YouTube and through all the other different avenues and streams. So We would love people's participation, but participate, don't participate, don't mean nothing to me. But like either way, shit's getting done. So but I appreciate the people listening. What I would more appreciate before we're gonna ask for tithes and offerings, basically subscriptions. But I would like for the people right now to go to, you can watch this on Twitter. I love when you guys watch this on Twitter. It's cool. I absolutely am enamored and in more love when you watch it on the YouTube stream. We are right at 6,500 total subscribers for Den Media Group. What I need you guys to do is I need you to go from the YouTube, from Twitter to the YouTube, click the subscribe button, but also click the like button and share. Talk to a friend, tell them about the show, about the stream, and about how we talk about sports topics in life. Believe it or not, we had some love at the Final Four. A guy from Houston radio came up to me and said, "Man, I caught your stream when you were talking about Florida State, man. I love what you do. You're Sasua, right?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. My name is James." As Sasua just happens to be a place in the Dominican Republic that I happen to like. I was there this time last year, chilling, vibing, getting a rebound. I need to go home and see my people, see Flip Flop and them. My dog Flip Flop lost like 50 pounds, man. But you know what? He was fat and happy, but then he got married again. And now he's stressed and losing weight. There's a lesson in that, maybe. And he got a new baby too. So, but go like and subscribe. Do all that again, because again, with that, and we're cleaning that up. We're doing some good stuff. Shout out to Jade and Miles. I got April visuals, added stuff. We're gonna have Big Game Gridiron until we get it to Big Game Gridiron to where it's sustainable on its own. It'll be a combination between what we're posting on YouTube and the website. Hopefully, I'm going to give myself to the end of this month by the summer for it to be fully loaded and going. And we got tons of stuff that we're going to have to repurpose, but we got tons of content that you can come check out and that you should like. I think you will like it. But if you guys would like the channel, that would be great. Once we get to 10,000 subs, we'll give away a pair of season tickets to your favorite place, favorite school, as long as it's not the University of Florida. I don't know what to do with you, but I do have some. I'll say this. Miles, you put the comments on. I can't see the comments. If you happen to be a Florida Gator, right? Oh, man, I didn't know something happened in the DR. Oh man, Darnell. Oh, actually, I got to respond. Yeah, they beat us in lacrosse. We had to suspend some guys in lacrosse. So they didn't beat the full Bulls team, but that is a really good team though. We lost 4 straight, so it's been a rough go for us. So what I'm gonna say to Gators, I need y'all to go share with your friends or talk to them. I have some giveaways that I want to give away. So like right now, I need to know what the first giveaway. I will give away damn. Can I'm gonna give away this. I have the score sheet for the Auburn. The Auburn. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna talk about the giveaways after the prayer. We'll kill the thing so I can go grab the stuff that I'm giving away, Miles. We're gonna do the prayer. I'll be right back, and I'll have the stuff. So right now, tell a friend to tell a friend. Get them on Twitter. It could be on Twitter too, but you can only win on YouTube. But I'm gonna give some of this Gator stuff away because I got to get it out of my house. It's making my house stink. And if we get to over 100 viewers on the YouTube, I have the final 4. The what do you call it when they give you stuff? Like a guy, a media. No, it's not a media guy. Anyways, I'll get the prayer and then I'll be right back. You love me.
We know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
What we got for today, Jaden? You got the list?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you good.
All right, y'all. So, Wednesday, April 9th, have today's episode of Big Games B.S., where we cover the good, the bad, and all the BS in sports. So, today, what we got for you is we're starting off with something new, starting off with a little bit of a high school post. Then we're going to transition into the NCAA. Got some FSU news, going to recap some football, basketball, and then we're going to talk about the March Madness Men's Championship, transition into some college football talk, and some players as well. Moving on to the NFL, starting off with the home team, got some Jags news to discuss and some Rams news to discuss as well. Then we're going to move on to some players. Then we have our Big Games BS segment where that is centered around the NBA for today's episode. But before we get into that, James has these items for giveaways.
Yeah, so this is kind of cool. I mean, it's just a sheet of paper, just print out. You can't get it though. I mean, you could take it and print it more, but like, I guess I could. You know what? Maybe I should do that. Make copies of the actual game because I got the last game, but this is like something that's cool. It has in there. It has the. Is this the shot breakdown? Yep, shot breakdown. This is the official stuff that they gave us as press stuff. They give you this for every game, like score, boom. I don't really like that, so that's one thing we'll give away to anybody who wants it. We'll just start putting tallies. If you want to raise your hand, I don't care if you're a Gator or anything else, but if you want it, we'll give away. We just had to put you in the Wheel of Fortune. This mess was on the floor. I think it's kind of cool if you're a Gator. Get your little pom-pom action. Powerade was the official sports drink for it. Now this, all right. Oh yeah, that was the Auburn one. This is the actual the finals. So that was kind of cool. I think as well. Probably end up giving that away. But here's what I don't know what's actually in it. What is it called? It's called the program. The program. So I got and then also got one for Houston versus Duke. So you don't have to be any of the fans if you want one of those. Just put in there. You need it, and Jaden and probably Miles or somebody. Y'all can check that out while we're doing that. Make sure we log people.
I got it.
I'll probably get this to my son. So y'all don't want this. This was just there. This bag is pretty cool. I'm not giving that away. Oh shit. Probably don't want the mango slices. I don't know how the mango slices got in there, but here's what they gave. I got 2 copies of this to give away. If we get to over 100 people watching on the YouTube, I'll give this away. So probably won't be giving this away, but if we get to, because we haven't had that in quite some time, due to the way the algorithm has been algorithming. But you can tell a friend to tell a friend. But this is I couldn't. They told us you can't check this in your baggage. Like I don't know why you can't check it in your baggage, but you can't check it in your baggage. We weren't in situations where we could get coaches to like sign it, but like it's only $20, but you can't get these anymore. I'm afraid to open it. Like I have 2 that are unopened. Should I open this to like look to see why I couldn't check this in my baggage? Because like it would have been like some kind of terrorist thing. They told me I had to put it in my carry-on luggage. You know what? Fuck it. You're gonna get this one. This is one of the ones because I want an unopened one for myself. So we're gonna open this to see. No. Ugh. Okay. I don't know why. It's just a regular ass program. There's nothing really, nothing in it that states why you shouldn't be able to open. But it is cool. Like if you're a fan of any of those teams, and you know, I don't know. Like I would want it. If this was Florida State, I would be trying to get it. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was very fucked up, a fucked up situation for me. I was conflicted. You already missed the prayer, Angelo. You gotta get on the show on time. I'm conflicted because I didn't want to touch the confetti. I felt like it was contaminated or some shit like that. But we are gonna get it. We're gonna get into Final Four talk, right, Jaden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll talk about my experience with the Final Four once we get into that. But let's go ahead and go down the show notes. What you're leading with.
Okay.
Like the Florida State stuff. I know you did the show notes. I missed it. So let's go ahead and get the show actually officially started.
Starting off with some high school discourse, James. I saw you partaking in this quote tweet regarding Florida high school football coaches. Now, CJ Wilson started us off by saying, "This is ridiculous," or excuse me, quote, "This is ridiculous. Last in the nation in pay, but the best athletes out on an annual basis. That's why so many Florida coaches go to Georgia to get what they deserve, pay these guys." He was responding to a post by WCTV on Facebook saying, quote, "Florida is last in the nation for compensating high school football coaches, paying them between $3,000 and $6,000 a year." James, do you think Florida should take football more seriously and pay these high school coaches for the reasons that CJ mentioned, putting some of the best, the greatest number of athletes into the NFL?
Yeah, I don't think that's why, but I think they should be paid more. All right. My community I don't know what the actual stipend is. All right, let's go back. What is a stipend? Not a stipend in general, but what is a coach's stipend? A coach's stipend is a supplement for teachers. So that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be a teacher or a coach. It is in addition to what you do for the school. So I don't know much, but I do know in corporate America, if somebody said, like, people get like a 50-cent bonus and they're like happy about that over the years. I don't know what this comes out to be, but like if somebody said you get paid, I'm going to pay you an extra $2,000 on your annual salary, most people are happy. The problem is when you look at what comes with that, it's a lot, and it's a lot of expectations that come with it, and not just with football, with lacrosse, with a lot of other sports, there is a time commitment, and you get consumed. That's why I laugh with parents like, your job is to get my kid recruited. No, it's not. It is not. My job is to coach, and the good ones do though. But let's just take it from this perspective. We started off-season conditioning at Mandarin in January. We do 4 days a week, 2 hours. There are some coaches that do every one of these sessions. I do not get paid for that. There is no money. That is for the love of the game. Mandarin coaches just went over to Florida State, and coaches take kids to these these junior days, and a lot of these different things. They don't get paid for that. Well, by the school. They don't get paid. Some coaches do get paid for those things, but most coaches don't get paid for these things. When you get paid a spring stipend in Jacksonville, Florida, I can only speak for Jacksonville. I cannot speak for every state. I mean, every city, because every city is Jacksonville in the First Coast area. You get paid a spring stipend, which is like a couple $100. Then you get paid, and you get paid that at the end of the spring. But then you also get paid at the end of the season for football. That's your chunk. So I get paid $1,440 the Wednesday before Black Friday. That has been consistent. Again, $1,440 to coach Mandarin University. That doesn't include the 8 weeks of summer workouts. We don't get playoff bonuses in Duval County. St. Johns County gives you a playoff bonus, 10% of what your stipend is. But you don't get a playoff bonus for Duval. So when we went on that state championship run, those 5 extra weeks that I had to dedicate and spend away from my family, I didn't get paid anything extra for that. Not a penny extra. So, and you don't sign up for football to not want to win a state championship. So I'm signing up for 15 weeks to get paid $1,440 the Wednesday before Black Friday. You can't do this without having a love for the game. Now, mind you, that's not every school. So like private schools get paid more. Some counties in Florida that are their only school, like the district can manipulate it to where you get paid pretty good. Like Baker County at one time was considered one of the best coaching jobs because they made it to where that head coach would make $100,000. Now this is for the assistant coaches. Now head coaches get paid a little bit more, not a lot of bit more though. I think Toby's bonus is like something about $5,000. Now in Georgia, just an hour from my home in Camden County, I can make $65,000, $70,000 annually to just coach football. Well, be a strength coach and do some other different things. I was offered a job about 6 years ago to go coach in Camden. If South Georgia was known for the biggest stuff, and what happened was, but even in the Atlanta area, those guys are getting not only are they getting paid. Texas coaches get paid a lot. Alabama coaches get paid a lot. But I don't want to just focus on the payment. Their facilities are better. Like we're raising $50,000 to at Mandarin to be able to renovate our locker room. If we didn't get that, we would have to wait for the city. And they go around every now and then and renovate schools. But you're talking about like Buford High School 11 years ago, if I remember, maybe a little longer than that. I went there to go visit with one of my teammates, Lawrence Sam, PK's brother. And they had 3 practice fields, turf practice fields. They had a turf game field. Their weight room looked just as good as my college weight room. They had all kinds of. My boy who coached at Westlake and coaches at Kell now. When I went to go drop some book bags off to him about 3 years ago when he first went to Kell, they have an indoor practice facility. They have a turf stadium on campus. They have behind them, they have numerous athletic fields that the Pop Warner associations use as well. They had 2 gymnasiums. Their schools are better. They put money into, they actually put money into the student. And as that, a byproduct of it is the coaches get paid for being around their child. And they deserve to have, that's why they can have expectations. With money comes expectations. With money comes being able to buy the best. They also talked about the community engagement that they have. Like they fed in the summer, they had your bacon, grits, eggs, biscuits for the guys who came on time for breakfast. They also gave what he called funeral plates to the kids when they went home. Leg quarters, green beans, mashed potatoes. You could drop your child off at 7 a.m. and they got 2 meals and a workout. Coaches got paid. There was a boost. The booster programs could pay the coaches. Like, I'll be honest with you, man, you could change Duval County could change the game right now, and nothing would change in the overall sense of what schools are better and what schools aren't. Let the booster programs be able to give supplements to coaches. Guarantee you Mandarin will have the best staff still. Brains will probably have a really good staff. You'll have, but like I said, nothing would change. Those are the 2 best programs in the city of Jacksonville right now.
How does one go through a pipeline of becoming a college coach then if you're a high school coach that's not even making 10 G's a year?
Oh, easy. Like right now, if you're a high school coach not making 10 G's a year, like what you're making between your school teaching, if you're a teacher, and your supplement, you may make $50,000 to $60,000. So that's why they're leaving to go to college.
They were all former teachers too? I mean,
no,
I don't see how you can.
No, like, so what happens in college, you typically got to have a degree. So a lot of times the guys go through the grind, and if you're at a pipeline school, like right now, I could probably pick up the phone and say, hey, if I really went out and said, I want to coach college, I could probably go get a college job. But forget if James Coleman, who played. I'm at a pipeline school with kids that they know that go to college. And I have Florida recruiting ties. Recruiting is the biggest thing. Recruiting is the biggest thing when it comes to getting a college job. It doesn't even matter what you know. Can you get kids in my school? But I don't know what it's like to be a teacher. I know they go through a lot, and y'all should cut them some slack. I can tell you, I'm not going to use my experience as a coach because I am good. I have pretty girl privilege when it comes to this. I take jobs and I tell coaches what I'm not going to do. I have done that since the beginning. I've gotten better because it's my friend. I have more time because I don't own a gym anymore. But I still travel, so I might not be at every day at practice, but I can guarantee you I'm going to have the results with my running backs. But here's the typical day for our coaches that are dedicated and why you should cut them some slack. They got to work at 7 a.m. At Mandarin, you got to be the school starts at 7. So they're there at 6. So that means they got to wake up at 6. It's dark outside when they go when they leave in the house. School's done at 2 p.m. Practice starts we got to get them down there for study hall film 2:30. So 2:30 to 6:30 is when that's 4 hours. 4 hours, 3 days a week. Walk through on Thursday, which is an hour. And in the game, Duval County, for whatever reason, believes that shootings don't happen. Shootings only happen after 7:30. So all of our games are at 6:30. And then we're not getting home or away, we're not getting home till 12. Between set up the field, play the game, break down the field, upload the film, wait till the film gets uploaded to Huddle, making sure everybody's parents have picked up their kids because we're responsible for them. To get 1,000, and you're doing that for 15 weeks, to get 1,440 funky ass dollars the Wednesday before Black Friday. That's not including Saturdays and Sundays where you have to have a meeting as a coaching staff to break down the film from the week before and break down the film for the previous weeks. That's not including during the week when you got to go watch extra film. That's not including the time that you probably spend with your players to let them know, hey, man, I do like you outside of this, and I want to develop you as a man. Let's go get some food. Here, let's go learn this playbook. Let's go do this. And that's not including the phone calls that you get. Why you ain't playing my son? What does my son need to do better to play? That's not included. And that's not. And then guess what most of us are? Fathers, husbands. Some of them are deacons in the church. They shouldn't be, but they are. So when kids don't do what I say, I already have 2 kids that don't listen to what I say. Why the hell do I want to pick up 70 more? And to the parents that don't play, you are the crazy baby mama to the football coaches. You don't like my son and you ain't doing this and I'm a threat. I'm like, leave. I always tell them leave. I am hired by most staffs. Has nothing to do with my ability to develop or progress. It has everything to do with my ability to tell people the truth about themselves in a harsh way that does not overly offend them. And it probably does. You just got to fight me if you want to do that. And that's probably not going to end the way you want. I got a solid 10 more years before I had to stop that. I'm going to admit 50 is going to slow me down a little bit. I ain't as fast as because right now I'm just quick to draw or I'm quick to grab, and I'm gonna choke you out. I ain't finna do all that. Nah, I ain't got all that time. You know that take. I done boxing. Boxing wins you, but it's just as mad as y'all be about us for not winning and not getting your kids recruited. We be mad at your genes because if you had better genes, we would have a better kid on the field. I mean genes. I mean by genetics, but there are some coaches that will play your son for how you look in them genes. So that's why I get offended when somebody has the audacity to say that I coach for money. What fucking money? Do you know how many different ways I can make 1,440 funky ass dollars in a much faster than my interest on my bank accounts makes more. Like I can just put money in the bank and not touch it. It not do anything and make that. Make more than that in the same amount of time. That's not, but I coach because somebody had to coach my dumb ass and correct me. And now this is how much of a. Let me tell you how much of a slut I am for pain. I coach Pop Warner too. So when I leave your badass kids, I go to my son's badass kids team and hear people bitch and complain. And that job actually is free. But I do it because I love it. With all of it, it gives me an opportunity with my sons to spend time with my sons. But it gives me an opportunity to spend time with that next generation. And try to counteract some of the bullshittery that you guys are putting inside your kids. That everybody should get a trophy or everybody should do this or that everybody should do that. That's just not the fucking way life is, bro. But I do know this. If they were to give us minimum wage for a part-time job, what's the minimum wage? Anybody know? Can somebody put it in the comments with me? But part-time, qualified for part-time is 20. You got to get 20 hours, right? 20 hours. All right, so 20 hours. Is it at least $15 minimum wage? 14. Okay, 14 solid. 20 hours, 14, $280 a week. Times 10 weeks. Still not a lot, but if they pumped it up to $3,000 for an assistant, that's really good. You gotta have financial stability, but less than that, you gotta have a really good core of people around you. And it's a young man's game.
You know what? that just popped in my head as a young person.
It's hard to do going back unless you just have a passion for, like Crow, like you said, it's either poor and you've been poor already, so you don't know what a good, this is a come up for you, or it's your Crow and you are, I'm good, I just need the money just because we need the money, but I don't need the money. Just as I joke with people, money's how we keep score. Like it's not really like, you know, okay. Like I just don't, because I don't have a number. Like I remember in Wall Street, he's like, everybody has a number. He's like, what is yours? It's a number that they would get out more. That's what it was so cold. I was like, yeah, what's your number? More. I have a fear of looking in my bank account and nothing being there. That's the only fear I have. But like if I was, I've always had that fear. But like I was 21, like, man, shit, you like Will Smith said, nobody's ever drowned on a treadmill. Like you say, I'm gonna work my ass off. And that's kind of why that's why I love, like, Kirby Smart. Kirby deserves every penny. I remember when Kirby was in his 20s. He was a GA at Florida State. GAs, they were poor. Like that man went like, so, but a lot of stuff they can do, like they can give you a house, they can give you an apartment, because you'll just stay where the players are staying at. You eat when they eat. You wear what they wearing. So like all the shit that you would normally need, you don't need, because you're like, they give you everything. It's almost like being in the military. Like the poor enlisted are the poor. By the time you become an officer, you get in the big bank. But let them start paying coaches about $10 to $15,000 as stipends, and you'll see everything. But the crazy part is they're not going to do that. You know why they're not going to do that? Because what I joke about, man, fuck them kids. Everything in life is about, man, fucking your kids, literally and figuratively. We have the lottery. We should have the best education in the state of Florida, but we don't. Like the best, you know why? We have one of my man, where's he at? He always comes in here, talks about the Powerball. We should have the best, like literally a part of the Florida lottery is supposed to go to education. They talk about going to bright futures and shit like that. Jeb Bush told me my future wasn't bright, so I couldn't get bright futures. But if they took that money, put it where it was supposed to be, they took your mills, which is the part of your property tax, and put it toward the school. They talking about getting rid of, this is how crazy it is. So you know it ain't gonna change. They about to get rid of fucking property tax. They're trying to get rid of property tax. Bro, it's not gonna change. And the best you could do is find guys who truly want to pour into your kid. Like I saw this thing. It was I don't know if I shared it on IG or where I shared it. It was a cold ass quote. Finding people that like you even when you provide absolutely nothing for them. You keep those people in your life. And that's what coaches do. Here it is. You got to appreciate the people who love you for free and not for what you can do for them. That's what coaches do. But yeah. Man, that was who put that? You did that, Jada? Or you did that, Miles?
That quote?
No, doors of the church are open. This is a great time to donate to MFTK Foundation. I need $40. Lock the doors. Close the doors. Nobody can leave until God gets his $40. I'm telling you what I'm actually, you know what? I love 4547 for this reason and this reason alone. Love is politics, not love is politics. He gonna tell you what he gonna do and do everything and have people telling you, oh, he didn't mean that. And then do everything that he told you he meant and then tell you, oh yeah, he said that. Let me get this motherfucking money up like the way I wanted to get. We pay our 7-on-7 coaches a stipend. It's about as bad as a Florida coach's stipend, but it's a stipend nonetheless. I didn't know that a lot of these 7-on-7 coaches, a lot of these Pop Warner coaches, though, they are they're paying for their hotels to coach your kid on the road. I was flabbergasted. I was like, wait a minute, they're not paying you and you got to pay for your own hotel and you got to feed yourself. He's like, I said, damn, dog, that's hustling backwards. I don't love my own kids that much. But if I get this, if I ever have an extra life, it was 10 coaches, that's 100. If I have an extra 100K ever laying around, and I know Toby needs some good coaches, I'm going to hire specifically the 10 coaches that just so happen to coach at Mandarin. And their job is going to be to make sure they're really, really good fucking coaches. If you're not a good coach, you're not going to get hired. They can't tell me what the fuck to do with my foundation. But anyways, man, I just thought about that, but people snitching on my post. Because I was going to drown it. I thought about it, drowning this kid in.
Yeah, you don't want to put that out there.
But I didn't drown him. I just said he wasn't listening to the Stingrays. And my favorite white person died because of Stingrays. And all I said was, you know, I just wanted to just put him in the water. But anyways, I didn't put him in the water, but the boy, like I saved this boy from I personally think I might have been going against God. I say that because I prevented God's will 5 times at the zoo. Clearly he's not long for this world. Because he tried to go into the giraffe pit. Like, which is a steep drop because, you know, giraffes tall. He tried to go swim he tried to get into the jaguar cage. Clearly, he don't want to be here. But I kept prolonging this. But, you know, anyways, Facebook want to demonetize me because one of y'all soft ass, sucker ass, bitch made ass, poo butt ass, dick in the booty ass people did that. But anyways, let's go on to the next thing.
The FSU Seminoles is lead cornerback, defensive back, Azaria Thomas was recently on an NFL Network interview with Ian Rappaport, the NFL's network's senior insider, and AZ was giving some props to an FSU football alum, Jalen Ramsey. So we're going to take a little sneak peek of this video and let us know what you think in the chat.
Anything football related without saying pause or but nah, I mean if you're gonna if that's somebody, I mean you don't want to, man, I was about to say something disrespectful. There's no, like, you want to model yourself after somebody good. I was thinking the teammates that I had that just were absolutely awful. That corner be like, you don't want to model yourself after. Oh, yeah. Can't say that person's name. Good people, just weren't good football players. Like, we just didn't work out. They were good in high school, maybe. Just didn't work out in college. Some of them are coaching 7-on-7. Like, just imagine, you don't want to model your game after your coach that was ass. Like, you can say he was a good coach, but like I model my game after my coach. Did your coach ever play? No. It's been 4 seasons in the transfer portal. Like, he's got 4 sets of issue gear from different places. He's played on every division. He's been from D1 to NAIA. You don't want to model your game after that. But nah, that's a good. I like AZ, man.
Speaking of FSU football, Coach Mike Norvell sat down with Josh Pate to conduct an interview regarding Florida State's 2024 season and what they hope to expect this new and upcoming season. I know we're still waiting on the MFTK Mike Norvell interview, James, but enjoy this around 2.5 minute clip of him and Josh Pate exchanging in dialogue.
Do you ever think to yourself, man, I'm the head coach at Florida State. A lot of eyes are on me. And 20 years from now, it'll still be very, very relevant, whether I'm here or not, that I was the head coach at Florida State. I could be speaking at a booster club. I could be in a documentary and thinking to yourself, I wonder how we'll talk about the 2024 season then. Because by then, there could be many, many, many glorified aspects of a terrible season that could have given birth to fill in the blank. We don't know what comes yet. Do you think that way, or are you just razor focused?
No, I think about that. I think about the opportunity that's provided. I also think the responsibility that I have to be in the moment. And so it's the razor focus of the day, of the moment of trying to, with the big picture in scope. And I do think about that, and I'm so fortunate to have this job at this place in this moment. And I do believe everything happens for a reason. Don't always know why, right? You don't always want to have to go through sometimes, but sometimes you need to go through what you can prove you can get through. And some of the results of those situations I mentioned earlier, you don't want to waste any experience, right? Because those experiences, they form who you are. And I cannot wait to tell the story about this journey. And whether it's a year from now, whether it's 25, 30 years from now, you'll be able to point back and say, you know what, that was really hard. That was really challenging. But you know what, some of those things that came out of that hard and challenging moment, right, help define and establish what was truly special, that of what we got to build upon from there. And so, like I said, it's there's a gratitude in it. And and I want players to understand that as well. Because you can sit there and you can point to hard, you can point to challenging, and you got a choice of what you're going to do with it. You can either rise to it, right, or you can stay away from it. And it's the ones that are willing to run right into the opportunity with humility, with passion, with a sense of gratitude for what they can be and what they can do from it. And that's where that's what the stories that people remember are all about. You don't sit there and talk about the stories of how easy things were for people. People don't ever celebrate that. You talk about the ones that had to overcome, had to rise up, that truly showcased all of who they were throughout that process.
Fuck Josh Pate. That's all I got to say. I don't like I don't like Josh Pate. It's hard for me to listen to anything that Josh. Now you give Josh Pate want to interview Mike Norvell after 2-10. Like now you want to get a good shit, huh? But nah, man. We haven't interviewed Mike in a while, man. I don't want to interview him like this though. I might talk to him about that. But I wanted this interview. I want the interview in the office. Like that interview was in the ring room. I don't want an interview in the ring room. You ain't earning none of them shits. Well, no, they did earn one. My bad. That's a lie. They did earn one of them shits. I want to interview. I always tell, I have questions that nobody else is asking because they don't know how to ask those questions because I'm a stakeholder. I don't get to like another program because I'm not coaching college. What I get to preferably, what's Trey's? In 7 years, I'll get that opportunity. But I really hope I don't get that opportunity because Trey want to go to Florida State. Kai said the cutest thing the other day to your sister, bro. Like it was cute, and it was it's Proverbs, 20, it was the 26:6 favorite verses. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is a man, he will not depart from it. This lets me know I've been raising him right. My killer. Let me find. I want to make sure because I don't want to say, but put the word 22:6. My bad. I want to make sure we say it's Proverbs 22:6 for those who are still trying to make their donations and their tithes so you can count this as church. Kai and I were watching the game. It's about 30 seconds left. Oh man, they winning now. It's okay. We don't have to finish watching it. Yeah, I don't even want to watch no more. Okay. Coleman's don't like this, right? Don't like this. Right, Mom. Yep. Coleman's don't like this. I need you to say it with me, Mom. Coleman's don't like this. And so that pretty much eliminates Kai from another school too. So it means I've done it right, But if they go to another school, I'm a root for my sons. But like I root for Florida State, love Florida State. I need them to be good. It benefits me. Life is better. You know how many subscriptions we jumped when we went 13? Why we went 13-1? You know how many people don't stop listening when they suck? You know how hard it is to say do a breakdown of your university when like the film is unwatchable? But Mike says some, I do know that Mike does understand the magnitude of what it is to coach that. He's always talked about that from the first time that I interviewed him. I'll probably go pull up some of the old interviews. The first interview I ever did with Mike Norvell is on the YouTube channel. We put it before last season. But I do see the stress of the last season like is definitely weighing on Mike. And that part I don't like for him, being a guy who actually personally likes Mike. Because he wants to win so bad and it's not happening the way that he knows it should work. And it's a guy, and I saw that with Tag. And I don't want that for him. So yeah. But with that energy, fuck Josh Pate. It's a couple other guys that I don't like either. And I hope they take a long walk off of a short pier and drown.
Transitioning from the drowning to basketball, we got some news on the men's side before we get into some tragic women's news. Now, we got a new signing for our men's program. The Laux Air has officially been kicked off to a great start. So, Florida State lands Alex Steen from Florida Southern. He was a two-time conference defensive player of the year. He averaged 18.2 points per game, 11.5 rebounds per game, and 2.6 blocks per game. Standing at 6'9", 225 pounds, hailing from Panama City Beach. So huge shout out to Laux for getting Alex Dean to sign with FSU, and hopefully he's a great pickup for the men's squad. And speaking of men's squad, Alir Malouk is staying at FSU. He played last season at the age of 18, so he's 7 foot tall, 218 pounds, freak athlete, long arms, so he is staying at the Tuck. Huge shout out to him for staying. But we have to end off the basketball segment with some heartbreaking news coming from the women's side. TT is gone. Tania Latson, the leading scorer in Division I women's college basketball, is transferring to the runner-ups in the national championship, South Carolina. Tania averaged 25.2 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, and 4.6 assists per game. James, how are we feeling about TT going to South Carolina, and what do you think the bag man brought her to go to South Carolina?
I don't like it because I want her to be at Florida State, right? I think what people have to stop is if she this isn't just about NIL. Is South Carolina not one of the most prominent programs in basketball? Haven't they recently won a natty? Aren't they consistently in the Final Four? It's an upset to not make the Final Four if you're at South Carolina. The level of playing, the standard that is there is immensely different. She went to get better. I can't be mad at somebody who wants to go win a championship. Had she gone to like, I don't know, like Texas Tech or something like that. I mean, Texas Tech's been good, decent in women's basketball. I would have been a little bit more upset. I would have been like, oh, she's just chasing the bag. And if she was just chasing the bag, so the fuck what? But this proves that she's just a winner. And what it proves is we have to take across the board, and this is where I know Mike Alford will interview. Mike Alford, I love Mike Alford. I like I actually genuinely like a lot of the coaches that Florida State has. But what this loss right here needs to let us step back and realize that everything isn't about money. It's always about the money, but it isn't just about the money. What was it that this young lady is missing that we're not checking? How long has Dawn been in South Carolina? She hasn't been like I know it was a big time hire and it was a paradigm shift in the program when Dawn got to South Carolina. It feels like she's been there forever.
2008.
Okay. So what? And how many? She ain't really. Donna ain't even that old. I thought she was older than that. So she's been there since 2008. She was at Temple before, and she was winning at Temple. She has made. Here, hold on. How many? Shit. She made the tournament. Oh, excuse me. She's won 9 SEC tournaments. She's been coach of the year 4 times. 7-time coach of the year for the SEC. I'm just reading off her accolades right now. Hold on. What is it? So 24 minus 8. So she's been there 16 years. And in that 16 years, she's been nothing but dominant, correct? They completely flipped the way the recruiting went. And when she went into those rooms, those girls knew that they were going to be with the winner before NIL. What we have to ask ourselves, and I say we, but what Florida State has to ask themselves in any university, do we have the Bobby Bowdens? Do we have closers? Do we have the coach that when they go into that room, that I know I have a chance before anything else? Because there are things that you have to either adapt or you're going to die in anything in life. So for you people, I miss the old days when it wasn't about the thing about the old days. It's them was the old days. But I am here to tell you, as a guy who coaches and is around these young people, it is not as much about money as y'all try to paint it. It is. But there are people who want to win and better their position in life, and that is the reason why you go to college. You go to college to get paid, to make connections, to network. Do we have the infrastructure, and do we have the coaches, and do we have the backing to be able to keep these kind of players? And if you don't, recognize that and appreciate them while you have them. I appreciate what she did for the program. I have seen her play 3 times live. It is must-watch basketball. I also watched her give everything against LSU and had us within a punching chance until the second half worked. And then at a certain point, you sit there and you look around. I fucks with these girls right here. But goddamn it, what if I had 2 or 3 other ones and it wasn't just me? I want to win. I want to win, and I want to go to the WNBA to go get paid, or to play in the other leagues that they have for women right now. Can she do it at Florida State? Absolutely, if everything is right, but it's already there and built. And we keep asking the youth to do things that we wouldn't even do for ourselves as adults. There's only one platform right now that I would not go on because I don't agree with their stuff, and I don't think they'll let me talk the way I talk. Unless I was Pat McAfee. Actually, even Pat McAfee did it. Pat McAfee built a platform that was making money on his own. And ESPN came over, he said, bet that up. It's the American way. We cannot preach to children and indoctrinate, because that's what it is. It's an indoctrination of what makes America exceptional is our capitalistic economy. And then when they participate in capitalism, get mad at them for participating in the thing that we indoctrinated in them to make them say we're better than everybody else. The best you can do is appreciate them, because right now, every one of y'all would leave your job right now if somebody paid you 2 times. 2 times more than what you're getting paid. I'm just saying, I'm just giving a number, Miles. It could be less than 1.25. People leave jobs for $1 difference. And if you're in a company that's winning and you got all kinds of other perks. That's America. This is, again, it's capitalism. It's what we do. Nobody stays at the same gig anymore. It's why it's funny when I'm listening to I understand the climate of today. People are longing for the wonder years. I remember when I worked at a plant. My daddy worked at a plant. I worked at a plant for 30 years, and I got a watch, and I had a 401k, and I had to do this. The jobs that were promised, the top jobs 20 years ago are not even around anymore.
A lot of those too were owned by sort of like families and people in that town.
And they treated people better.
Yeah, exactly. Now that company is run by a bigger company.
And Big Daddy can have 2 families on minimum wage.
Right. There's no family.
You can't even cheat the same way no more. Cheating is a rich man's game. It's hard to host a family with one. It's like I don't get it. Like I'm sad. I wanted her to stay. I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful that she's here. But it does make me question. I like our coach. Do we have a wartime consigliere? Do we have somebody who's going to prepare these girls to go out here and win? Do we have it in baseball? Do we have it in softball? We have it in softball. We got that bit one of that. Coach Lou nice. It makes you question everything. Is Mike really that guy? It's not a bad thing to question it. It's not questioning if you like him. I could like you, but I want to win. You either adapt or die, or understand your position and play your role. Maybe we're the side bitch. Side bitches got good, but side bitches got it good in a lot of respects. But everybody want to be the main bitch. But if you're the main bitch, you only want to be the main bitch, are you doing what's necessary to maintain the main bitch spot? And it's a lot of work when you got the world has lied to a lot of women and men, but it's lied to a lot of women. That seven figure nigga, you got to do 7 figures worth of stuff to keep them, because everybody want the 7 figure nigga. And Florida State, if Florida State is truly the 7 figure, or excuse me, a championship caliber team, the goal, that's the 7 figure. Do we have what it takes to do that? Do we have what it takes to pay that coach? Do we have what it takes to pay the players to make that coach better? Do you have that? And I can tell you, it's not just about money, because if it was, Miami would be good at everything. They bought them Cavalier hoes. They paid top dollar for their sports programs. And I'll tell you why money ain't everything, too. Watching UF basketball. Them dudes ain't getting paid like that. They coach about to get paid. But, like, anyways, man, like I said, it's a lot of people mad at her when knowing good and damn well if their daughter was in the same position, they'd have been bounced. That's all I got to say about that.
Cap off the FSU segment for today. We have some 2025 Florida State Hall of Fame class inductees to discuss. Now, let me share this with you all. Has some notable names here on this list as well. Got Broad Brayman, Rashad Green, Brian Henry, Terry Horner, Colleen Quigley, Lacey Waldrop, and the one, the only, Jameis. Let's eat a dub, Winston.
First off, shout out to Florida High's own Brian Henry. Classes. Yeah, Brian was, I don't know if Brian was 2003 or my class. I think Brian was class of 2003. But I went to high school with Brian. Good people. His father is the sports editor, as longtime sports editor for the Tallahassee Democrat, Jim Henry. Good people. Permission to speak freely on the Hall of Fame induction and not be judged. Shout out to Bob Brayman, our three-time national championship track coach. Really good guy. Shout out to J-Bo, Heisman Trophy winner, highest drafted football player in program history. Really, really good. Deserves more praise and accolades. Shout out and congratulations to Rashad Green. One of the best wide receivers to ever play at Florida State statistically. More than deserving to be in the Hall of Fame eventually. I think in order to be I want to know what the qualifications to be in the Hall of Fame are. And Rashad Green is a great individual, both on and off the field. Runs daycares in Tallahassee area, if I remember correctly. But there are a lot of really, really great Noles that are not in the Hall of Fame that I would have put in the Hall of Fame a long time ago, and I think should be inducted into the Hall of Fame before some of the new generation of Noles come in, if that makes sense. One being Dexter Carter. I believe Dexter Carter is not statistically. Not, you can't look at the statistics now because it's a different game. They play more games. The game has evolved and it's changed. But Dexter Carter was one of the premier players that brought about the dynasty era Bowden teams. Dexter Carter is one of 4 first-round draft picks at running back from Florida State. Dexter has a Super Bowl win with the San Francisco 49ers. Dexter has been really, really good. I think Dexter Carter deserves to be in the FSU Hall of Fame, and it's a travesty that he's not in it. That's not to take away what Rashad did, but I just think before we start getting all of these young guys who are deserving in, there's still some old heads that did some good shit that ain't in yet. And that a lot of our fans, and this is the one problem that I have with Florida State, is we do not treat our legends as great as they should be treated. And then what happens is the people who remember them are dead or getting old. And you got the new stuff in. Like, it's not just with him. I'll just use it as across the board. So when I was playing, we had all kinds of celebrations on game days of people that I don't even know who the hell they are. Like the 1986 class of Florida State that went, whatever, like, or the 75 Florida State Seminoles that went 6-4 and played for the Turnip Bowl championship. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. We're dynasty or everything. Like, we balling, but this. Do you realize it's 20 years, January 2nd, 2026 would have been my last snap in a garnet and gold uniform. I feel old as hell. But it was 20 years. December 8th, I believe, around that time, 2025, the first ever ACC championship game was played. Does anybody in the chat know who the first ever ACC championship game winner was? Or anybody with that. You can be on Twitter. You can answer this on Twitter. You can answer this on YouTube. Answer this wherever you're at. But does anybody know who the winner of the first ever ACC championship game was? It was not Georgia Tech. Wrong answer. We know who it wasn't. It wasn't Miami. We know for a fact it wasn't Miami. They've never won one. It was FSU. We have missed a 10th anniversary and we're going on a 20th anniversary and have never highlighted that fact. The first ever ACC championship game. We beat the fuck out of Virginia Tech at Marcus Vick. I have never seen, like, in order to organize a group of people to come back home, you have to start the communications like earlier in that year. You can't just wake up and say, okay, we're playing East Texas A&M. Let's bring that 05 team back. Guys have families. You have to pay your way to do that. It's like a lot of things that go into that. And I'm not saying, again, it's not that the guys don't deserve it. They're going to have celebrations of other mediocrity before that. it's a way to go about some things, man, that I don't care personally. But it's like it was a long, like 20 years and no recognition of it at all. During the lost era, the lost decade that the media painted it as. On that team, there are guys who are not FSU Hall of Famers yet. There was one Ernesto Sims. That's not really his name. I'm just flapping it up. One of the best linebackers to ever play college football, let alone Florida State. Antonio Cromartie, who probably will never get in it because of how my dog talks. I love my dog, but you don't have that. You don't have Cam Wembley wilding right now, but I get it. You don't have and Broderick Bunkley, who I don't even know what Brod is doing with his life right now. Brod is wild. That's 4 first-round draft picks in that 2005 in that 2006 class from that 2005 team. That's an accomplishment of itself that should be recognized. I believe again, so that's not as poop. I'm never going to be one of those old guys that I could get Rashad Knight. He just wasn't a good Jaguar. He fumbled a lot of punts, but he was a great Knoll and is more than deserving of that accomplishment. I'm just saying it's a lot of other old Knolls that aren't in that should be in. And that's kind of where I would leave it. And just, it would be great to see some of this stuff like loved on. Where yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would love for people to tell me, hey man, OG, you're looking at it the wrong way. And I have no problem with having an honest dialogue about looking at these things the wrong way. But like, my brother, 2020, you skipped 2. There have been multiple, which again, national championships. I believe you should never not recognize those. Like, you recognize them all you want, but like we've had multiple other things like recognized. Like none of those teams, we haven't had again. So in that, so I've seen just reunions alone. We haven't had an 02 reunion. We haven't had an 03 reunion. We haven't had an 04 reunion. And we damn sure ain't had one 05 reunion. They have reunions all the time for teams that accomplish less. I just that's why I love the tailgate. That's why I throw them, like, just to get people. The Cats want to come home. The Cats do want to come home, dog. But like 02, 8, like championships should be recognized every decade. At least once. We're almost shit. It was 23 years removed from my first ACC championship, or 24 seasons. 23 seasons removed from my second ACC championship. No, I've got to be wrong. All right, so we're 20 years removed from my third ACC championship. 22 years removed from my second ACC championship. 23 years removed from my first ACC championship. Never had one celebration for any of those. Whereas if we were at NC State, we would have fucking parades. Anyway, my bad. That's the only gripe I have with that. Everybody but kudos to all of those guys. That's something that I'm never going to get an FSU Hall of Fame. And I am okay with that. I am perfectly fine with that. I was good. But I wasn't. I was really, really good, but I wasn't a great. In my mind, I know the greats. William Floyd's the greatest fullback to ever play at Florida State, and I am far away from as dominant as Bar None was. But I'm pretty sure Bar None is in the FSU Hall of Fame. That would be a travesty if he's not, but I'm pretty sure he's in it. All right, then to the next thing.
All right, we gotta run through these topics right quick to get to our NFL and Big Games BS segment. Time's running a little short, but we have some March Madness updates for you all. I'm just gonna share this with you. And if you were living under a rock and didn't know who won the game, the 2025 national champions, are the Florida Gators. They beat Houston 65 to 63, a down to the wire game. And here's some facts about the Florida Gators and what their championship means. So Florida is the only school with 3 national championships in football and in basketball. This is a stat that's, man, it can get put up with any stat if you're talking about schools and organizations. This is a big flex right here. I cannot lie. So, man, shout out to them for making history. And speaking of history, this stat is crazy. Florida was only in the lead for a minute and 4 seconds during the entire game, compared to Houston, who is in the lead for 38 minutes and 56 seconds. So Florida had some notable comebacks in the 2025 NCAA tournament. You see right here, the national title, they were down by 12 points to Houston. In the Final Four, they were down 9 points to Auburn. And the Elite Eight against Texas Tech, 10 points. And in UConn, in the second round, they were down by 6 points to get that comeback. Now, even though the Ops were successful in their NCAA tournament hopes, we got to add this video in there just to show a little tease, a little poking fun at the Ops right quick. And this fan was going a little bit too overboard during the celebration, and we can see how this will turn out.
Oh my God!
Nah, and then the police, they're so oblivious. You don't see this going on. They're shooting themselves. Wait, there was a guy up there?
It's raining, man. That's so one of the things I was saying around that, just being me, I'm in San Antonio. Go Gators, go Gators. Go Gators, go Gators. And, just being funny. They didn't catch on. They were just happy that somebody responded to them or whatever. Which is just American. Hi, nobody pays attention to this. Just we greet for no reason in America. But saying that, and then it's raining, man. Hallelujah. It just matches. It just matches. My buddy sent me something, and I've never been so excited about somebody else's success that I storm the streets. Small. So what I was my thought was, people love to go on social media when black people protest bad shit. Well, it's just always so much violence. But nobody ever talks about the violence and the dumb shit that occurs when you're supposed to be happy. The city of Philly put out a warning that they're greasing the polls in anticipation for riots for winning the Super Bowl. In anticipate, like we've seen West Virginia, we've seen hockey wins, we've seen anarchy, we've seen looting, we've seen things flipped, we've seen cars burned, broken into,
Ohio State.
and it's never oh well, you know, that's just, you know, oh my God, that's their natural instinct is just to go and destroy things when things are good. It's never that. It's always like, oh, well, boys will be boys. But like, dude who might have been in trouble or not, shot 2,200 times by police officers. People kind of want to riot because you might want your day in court. It looks bad. Nah, that's the reason why. But sports, nope, that's completely acceptable. Completely normal behavior for a guy who's probably underage to climb on top of a fucking traffic light and fall down to his death, maybe. Yeah, that's just what happens when we win. Like bad things happen sometimes. We gotta have what's an omelet without a few broken bones or broken eggs? I just think that's wild. I'll never be that happy about something. But it brought me to something just curious, like why that never like why nobody ever discusses, like, because we got the one thing with the kid. Well, I don't know if we'll talk about it, but that shit's well, we did talk about it last Friday. But when the kid just, you know, I guess shake the kid in the heart at the track meet and all the information's come out. Oh, that's just their natural aggressive nature. They're hateful. They do bad things to people. But then never look at this shit. But anyways, it's just that was wild. It's odd. On that note, though, if you're continuing, if again, we're not there yet, but if you're a Gator and you want something like this, or you want this toxic shit, you should. If you're a Gator and you were listening to our show, or just like I tell anybody listening to notable podcasters, you know, broke boys, you could have came up there, could have been hanging out, and I should probably got a chance to meet some of your favorite Gators. I'd have been like, fuck them, go over there, talk to them if you want to. But that's the purpose of being with part of Den Media Group. And if you were all in, you would probably get a chance to experience any of your teams better than you could from all your other stuff. What was crazy too? All the Gator people were there for the first game. They all left. That's wild. Like, a couple of the guys. Damn, I forgot his name. I thought they kind of like I know of them. They was just there hanging out, and then boom, they weren't there for the natty, which is wow. Why would you be there and then your team wins and then go home? Like, ain't like it costs you more money. But yeah, it was a great experience. I won't even get into it because we'll lose topics on other stuff. But Kodak, did I tell you that Kodak Black got treated worse than Hakeem Olajuwon?
Black?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hakeem and Kodak, you would expect.
Right, but you know, like rappers be feeling like entertainers are entitled.
Okay.
Now, mind you, was it Wemby? How do you say his name, Jaden? Victor Wembyano? He had, now that's his home. That's where he played. Like he run that shit.
Yeah, they love him. People love him.
Like he was able to get wherever, but they made sure Hakeem was sitting next to Wemby at the national championship, so he had the same freedom. Kodak tried to run on the court. Nah.
When's the last time you dropped a hit, Kodak?
Nah. They hit him. They. Do you not know who he is? Nah, we know who he is. We listen to his music. He's not getting on this court. They were not letting people on the court. Also, like, damn, I have it here.
What rapper you think would they have led?
Jay-Z.
Oh yeah. Lil Wayne, would he have gotten on?
Lil Wayne would have gone. But Lil Wayne's people would have done different. Kodak wasn't in the student section. The student section was over by where we were. Kodak was on the not behind the benches, on the other side. I don't know what you said that, but did you see the thing, Jaden, with where they blamed that white lady was trying to pull the Houston Cougar and they said she was media?
Yeah, I thought she wasn't media.
You know how credentials, do we have that, or was that on the thing or no?
No, I didn't add
I just
that.
want to clarify this, but you know how credentials and stuff work, Jaden. Like you, obviously, Jaden got more media credentials than most media right now. But they gave us certain things. So, like, hold on, I'll cover this up. So I don't want y'all to see all the letters. So this is the credential for the Final Four. Your lanyard matches this. All right. That is the media lanyard. It's blue. That lady's lanyard was orange. The people with the orange lanyards worked for the NCAA or for the arena. That lady was trying to tell that man he was going the wrong way. And that's why she was pulling him and coming for her. Like, and it became something because people were so quick to say shit that they don't know nothing about. Like, she wasn't trying to get an interview from him. Like, everybody down, it was way more security than it was media. And I tell you, they was running a tight ship. They was running a tight ship. I think that was the lady who kept making us, did you get your credentials? They made us scan our credentials to get on the court. Like, it was a double decker. Like, it wasn't like you could just show that. Because technically, everywhere else, you just show your lanyard, they see the letters, and they let you in. That you got to be approved. They got a blue beep, and then beep, beep, beep. Like, you got to be able to get in. So, but that was just something else to talk about from the Final Four. Clarify that for her.
Moving on, we're gonna transition into the NFL news right quick before we get into our big games BS topics. So to start out with the Jags, we got some news coming from the organization. So first things first, let me share this with you all. So the offseason workout programs began for Pete Carroll's Raiders and Liam Cohen's Jaguars. This was yesterday. So huge shout out to them boys for getting that. The offseason workout program started. And here are some number updates as well for the Jaguars. Devin Lord is wearing 0. Jordan Lewis at number 2. De'Ami Brown at 5. And Gabe Davis making that transition back to 13. Number he wore in college. Fred Johnson at 74. And your boy, James Lewis Rees-Zammit with number 89. So huge shout out to these guys and getting their number changed as well. And speaking of a number change, the Jaguars picked up the 5th-year option on defensive end Trayvon Walker, which adds another year to his deal for 2026 at $14.75 million, fully guaranteed. The former number 1 pick has raked up 20.5 sacks over the past 2 seasons. So good. Yeah. What do you have to say about the 5th-year option being picked up, James?
Smart move. I mean, you can't get a guy with the production that he's had for that kind of money. So pay him I'm sure they're gonna try to work out a long-term deal during this time as well. So like, he can't help where he was picked. I still don't believe he should have been the number 1. You can't make me believe he should have been the number 1 overall pick. But he is a damn good football player. Like that. And I want him over the guy with 2 last names. And if you put him and Graham, the kid from the D tackle, I think you have a similar situation to what you have in LA. You know, with the former FSU gang over there. So kudos to him. Love seeing guys get their bread and their paper.
Speaking of LA, funny that you mentioned that, James. The Rams have a potential new $10 billion 100-acre headquarters in Woodland Hills. So what this would entail would be a new state-of-the-art practice facility, multiple entertainment venues for live music, and retail and residential buildings. So these are the prospective pictures for the Woodland Hills headquarters. Got some pictures right here. We're going to filter through. James, what do you think of the Rams' potential $10 billion 100-acre headquarters in Woodland Hills, California.
It's a lot of money, man. But 10 billion and no stadium. I mean, I know they got the stadium that they like, but it's just, I feel like that should entail some more things. But I mean, it makes sense though. Like you'll have players that come in, so you're gonna try to get the players to stay as close to the facilities as possible. So that's one thing. You'll be able to host other sporting events in the practice facility, much like I think the state championship games in Texas are hosted at Jerry's World. So I think that's smart. Entertainment venues and things like that. That's making it a spot that will continue to make money. I wonder how long that project's going to take to actually complete. Because the Super Bowl will be played in LA. When is it? So next year, it went 2 years. Because it's in San Fran next year, so it'll be at LA the year after that. I think that's the move, especially with the way sporting events are becoming bigger and bigger. If you can, and as a guy, this is, I think it's like my 7th year covering them, like going to different ones. Walkable cities are the best. Like the Final Four are going to be in Indy next year. You know, I can't wait to go back to Indy. I'm gonna be in Section 87. I'm gonna eat me a steak from Prime. I'm gonna be all over the place. Like it's gonna be great. But this is dope. I think this is. I wish that Jacksonville would let just give Shad downtown. Give it to him. Like he can afford to. Shad Khan can make Jacksonville a new city in no time. They're just afraid to give it to the Muslim.
James, I want you to pick your own superlatives, whether from this list or the options they have created. But I want you to choose your NFL team superlatives. So we got some teams right here. If you disagree or agree with these picks, obviously the best team from last season, the Eagles, most improved. I can see you probably won't disagree with the Commanders. Inconsistent, but Ravens, I'm not too sure about that one, and some other teams in the mix in other awards. So if you had to base your teams off the same superlatives, what teams would you choose?
Underrated and Panthers should not be in the same sentence. That makes absolutely no sense. Seattle being sneaky good, I can see that. I'm with the Browns being the Browns beat the Steelers. They're not unwatchable. The Colts are worse than mid. I don't like the Ravens that inconsistent. Vikings being overrated is a good one. Yeah. I don't really have anything better to switch it though. So I just think the Jags should be in there somewhere. Like the Jags are worse than mid. They're not unwatchable. They're just not good. I don't know.
Transitioning on from that, we have some news from your homegirls team, James, from the Panthers. Speaking of underrated team, they made a questionable move. So the Panthers are taking a swing on upside, signing 6'9", 225-pound Colin Granger, a former college basketball player with zero football experience. He'll get a look at tight end. So, James, what do you think of the Panthers taking a swing at someone with no prior football experience, but coming in at 6'9", 225 pounds?
Who does he know? That's privilege. This man has no football experience. All he's done is hoop. Like it's worked in hooping. Obviously, we've seen tight ends be made from out of power forwards, but he's only 225. He's not 250. And you got to block. Like, I'm so tired of people like disrespecting the physicality of this game, man. Like, man, that dude ain't even getting an opportunity to box people out to catch a curl flat. We are literally taking his lunch money and bullying the fuck out of him. Like, this game, man. Y'all keep talking about Batman. Listen, bro. Shit, all fun and good, all fun and games till you get hit. Like I always tell people about football. You ain't played football till you had to negotiate with yourself to pick yourself off the fucking floor. Like, that moment ain't fun for nobody, dog. Shit hurts, man. And the crazy part is, the only way you know if this is gonna work is if you give him a full chance through camp. So he's actually doing all of the things that all y'all hate Bronny for. He's actually taking a qualified individual's opportunity. There are real tight ends out there that have football experience that you know can probably work. And this isn't even a cool gimmick. It's not going to put butts in seats and get you any bread. I hate people I hate them. I hate people for even entertaining this. I hate the person who wrote the article about it or the tweet, and I hate them for doing it.
Got some more information about Colin Granger. So the caption was a little bit misleading. He hadn't played football since 8th grade rather than no football experience.
That's worse.
But yeah, some may say that's the equivalent. But to get in some more context about this, Granger was recruited by veteran offensive lineman George Fant, who once transitioned from college basketball player to the NFL. And this is what Fant had to say. And this is what Fant had to say to confirm that this signing was indeed true. Quote, "So I'm not being played. This is a real guy having the belief that he thinks I can do something like this," Granger told the Panthers official team website. Eventually, that sank in, and so I responded, and I said, "I'm interested," but that's all I said. Fant plans to jumpstart a recruiting business to identify, train, and guide players he believes might be able to move from basketball to football. Granger is his first recruit to sign. Then he's going down, just talking about how Granger met all the eye tests that he could transition into the NFL. And there's some information about the teams that met to watch Granger work out. The 32-year-old Fant and his crew helped set up a workout for Granger in Georgia. 5 out of the 32 NFL teams showed up. The Panthers, the Vikings, Seahawks, Texans, and the Eagles. So that's a little bit of backstory behind that, James. And yeah.
So I want to because I didn't know this. I just talked to Sheena this morning too. So here's what happened with Fant. One, Fant was bulked up. Fant he had 1 year, he had 1 year of eligibility at Western Kentucky, and he went and basically walked on over there on that football team. And he played in 2 games, and he had 1 catch for 7 yards. He also had 2 tackles. So at least he had a year of experience in bulking his body up to where you could see something. And then he went to the pro day, and they listed him as an offensive lineman. And the Seahawks took a gamble on him because of his athletic ability, but he at least was able to go through the process of actually hitting people in practice and live on the field. Like, you're talking about a guy who hasn't been hit since he was 13, 14 years old. This is dumb. Like, I don't get it. Whatever. Panthers are the Panthers. For every Fant, there's I don't know, bump it, man. You know what? She's gonna ask y'all to do some work too for if y'all I haven't asked you yet. But this is egregious. I don't understand this. I'm so perturbed by your organization.
Which one?
The Panthers.
What they do now? You talking about them sign that basketball player?
Yes.
Niggas get on my nerves for real.
Like, what the fuck is this? What is this shit?
It's just a regular little chilled out news day, and y'all want to go do that.
Like,
but you know what? That's not the only action we really had this offseason for real.
That's the only. It said just signing a kid who hasn't played football since he was 13 years old.
Yeah, because it's been a quiet off season. There's no quarterback drama. They're not looking for a head coach or GM. There's no contract disputes. They had to shake it up for y'all a little bit, Had to give you a little sauce, little something.
I mean, Luke Kuechly is out here doing really good interviews. So I mean, can't we just talk about the past? He said, or you
actually are working on a documentary on that 2015 team. I don't know if anybody's supposed to know that yet, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
what about? Are they going to invite Cam?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't talk 2015 without Cam.
I'm just saying, Cam, they've been, they don't really like Cam.
Beefs. I wouldn't say that. They both sides have had their beefs.
Cool. Kuechly said some really nice things about Cam too in this last podcast.
Because that locker room was so different. I mean, even now, like the locker room there's no, rivalries or anything like that. It's just different personalities. And that's Bryce Young's locker room now. As much as people outside of that locker room might not be able to see it, like it's definitely his locker room now. He just leads different. And as you see them start to win more games and stuff like that, a little bit more Bryce's personality is going to start to come out and show. But at the end of the day, it really don't matter what none of the rest of us think. As long as everybody in that locker room is locked in and they believe that he can lead them, then they'll be all right. But, I mean, the Cam era was just different, and I said this last season to Bruce with communications. I said, this is the weirdest locker room I've ever seen since I've covered this team. This will be season 10 coming up for me. And when I say that, I mean, like, it just was such a revolt. Like, they're trying to find an identity. Last year, they were definitely trying to find an identity. And it's the first time I've actually seen them make football sense with trying to establish that identity. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's on the same page in the front office and everybody's on the same page in the locker room. But it was, like during training camp when there's all the extra bodies and stuff like that, they have the temporary lockers out there. Those temporary lockers stayed all last season because it was always somebody new. Because they were just trying to find a fit. Last season wasn't supposed to be like a playoff season, a postseason type of season or anything like that. They knew they had a lot of holes to fill, and they knew that they have a lot of leadership spots that needed to be established. And last year, you kind of saw them just try different combinations until they could just trying to figure out what the right mixture is going to be. They're closer to it. They're not all the way there. They're closer to it, but, that Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Julius Peppers, Greg Olsen, Cam Newton era, that's the last time anybody in Carolina has really been excited about Panthers football. So it's not going to get to that fever pitch in one season, but I think that with this group and them like re-signing all of their cornerstones and Derek Brown and J.C. Horn, they're trying to establish that. And you do go and you go and you sign the big extensions while you still have a quarterback on a rookie contract too. So shout out to them with like the money and how they're working with that. So I mean, it's just a different locker room. It's like I said, but I do think that, that core group of players, they're going to always have nothing but nice things to say about each other because they built something. Cam was drafted at number 1. Who do you know that what good team is drafting at 1?
Well, according to Steve Smith, there were good people there a couple years ago, and some of them were there still. They weren't just losers.
They weren't just losers, but again, like they established a culture. And and I know what interview you talked about when Cam and Steve were kind of beefing. I get what Cam was trying to say. The delivery was terrible, but I get what he was trying to say. Like he brought a different. And Steve was a part of good Panthers football teams too. Like let me not
He was on the Super Bowl team with DeLone, right?
Right, he was. And so when you kind of see when his career started to come to a close and start for there to be like kind of a sunset. Then you see a changing of the guard, which is what happened when Cam Newton was drafted. A lot of people, I wasn't covering the team back then, but a lot of people said back then that, part of the reason that they didn't hang on to Smitty is because they needed to establish Cam as a leader in the locker room. You can't necessarily do that with a personality like Steve Smith. I don't know how true that is, but that is what people were saying were happening around that time. I don't have, it's a bird's eye view for me for that era of Panthers football, but they weren't just losers, but it was a different team when Cam came around. And I can't say the same for Bryce because they definitely were some losers when Bryce came. And, right now they're still trying to dig themselves out of that hole, but it's just changing of the guard. It's just a different era. And, there's still a very young franchise. Franchise is younger than me. And I'm old, but the franchise is younger than me. So I just think that as time goes on, I would love for the public to see the Bryce that we see and to see how he interacts with his teammates, within the confines of that locker room, how he's interacting with his teammates in the huddle. Those are things that, the general public can't see. And quite frankly, it don't really matter to him. Like, how much stuff people have been saying about Bryce Young. He's a bust, he's this, he's that. If he had no mental fortitude, he would have tucked his tail in and been a Jamarcus Russell. Instead, he's balling out. And to me, I feel like at the end of the season, he was playing like the best quarterback in the division. And I think that this season going to continue that.
All right, 2 more questions. Are you going to try the recipe that Xavier put out for Coon?
I have not listened to it. I saw it, but my phone was on mute. But I can probably say with about 95% assurance that I will not.
Because it was like you got to put that, you got to get that there. You got to put the sleeve on it.
Hey, not too much on X now. Not too much on Xavier now.
He said you got to, and then you got to put them seasonings on it. Like, I was like, he made it sound delicious.
It was seasoned to perfection. I will say that. Like it didn't taste like you would think raccoon would taste. And I think that when you first think about it, you're thinking that it's gonna have like this gamey taste, but it didn't taste gamey. Like it was definitely seasoned to perfection. I only had a little small bite, but I'm just saying, like what I had was definitely, very well seasoned.
All right, and the draft pick, who you got?
I think they're going Jalen Walker. He makes sense. And it's not him, Williams, but I do think that there'll be a Georgia Bulldog called at number 8 in a couple weeks.
Okay. Well, damn. All right. Well,
you sound so disappointed. What do you mean, damn? All right.
Well, no, I thought it was going to be. The way you preface it does make more sense, like about the original thing. Because like Noah Fant working for the Panthers or something, or I guess the involvement of Noah Fant is was what I was reading about it. And he was a guy. He played at Western Kentucky.
I don't work here.
I
don't work here.
And some other bullshit. And he was a basketball player that turned into a football player. But I'm like, y'all got to stop this shit.
Nah.
You got to block it tight end, man.
I saw, you know what? The most egregious thing I saw was the Julius Pepper. I said, bro, y'all ain't. Nah,
who brought Julius Peppers into this? Like, Julius Peppers played, like, literally played DN in college.
I'm not doing that with them. I said, yeah, y'all play too much. Like, I exited the whole, I think I logged out the whole app that day. Like, because I was like, we're not doing that.
That's crazy. Well,
yeah, I said, yeah, this ain't no comparison. We ain't doing that.
All right. Well, cool. All right. Well, I'll let you know. All right. All right. That made me feel better about Carolina. I was just, my stomach was turning.
Speaking of stomachs turning, James, you mentioned the Xavier Legette raccoon recipe, and we got the video pulled up right here for the fans. So you, as a fan and as a potential consumer, can prep, eat, and enjoy Xavier Legette's raccoon recipe.
I know that you eat raccoon, so if I wanted a perfect raccoon meal, take me from start to finish. What I gotta do?
For yourself, right? First, you need to go in the woods. You gotta have some coon dogs that's trained to go. Once you pass that, boy, you just skin them. You cut a hole like the size of your pinky down behind the back of his head. Pull that dang on. What can I say? A leg sleeve on the legs. You know what I'm saying? pull it just like that. And once you do that, man, you just cut a hole right across the chest. Just take your 2 fingers, pull the guts and everything out of them, strip them out. And then after that, man, you just wash them out, put them in a pressure cooker, let the meat fall out the bone. After that, it's going to be like chopped up meat. And after that, man, you just put some fresh peppers on it. We got our little own thing of seasoning that we mix up, man. We can't give y'all everything now.
I was about to say, what type of seasoning we put?
Man, it's a little bit of everything, man. But you got to put some spices on it, some herbs, and then that'll be the way to make the best come.
Dalton rolling, throwing.
Oh, so they did that interview. They did that interview at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they had the New Orleans.
Yeah, the New Orleans Adidas. Yeah, I saw that in that backdrop. I'm pretty good at the Xavier voice. I sounded like him a little bit with that. Like the boy, but he's getting better with either that, and he's also speaking English better. So he's been working. But I don't want him to lose what makes him him, because like I need the country boy, like a country boy can't survive, like the intro, and then like make us think it's about to be about like these white Westerners, and then it's just country motherfuckers from South Carolina, like that weekend thing that he does. I got a country boy can't survive. Like just something like that. Just let that be the intro. And it did get all the rednecks be like, yes, this is what's been going on with America. We need good programming. What the hell? They got coons eating coons. We gotta let that twang, we got a little on twang on that. We can't give y'all everything though. Like, man, you are not, I don't care. It's only one country ass food that you can probably see me eating because it looked delicious. But I think it only looked delicious because of the way that man fried it. I will eat some rabbit. But like, I am not finna eat no coon. And the way he presented it looked like chew. It looked like it looked like tobacco. That he's just, we're gonna pick that up with them 2 wingers right now. And but it's like I said, man, he's amazing, dog.
Yeah.
He needs to read children's books. That would be amazing. I really want to take him to like an elementary school, and I want him to read Pete the Rabbit books. Oh, that'd be great. Like I want him to like. I think kids will get a great. It would be good for everybody. But yeah, he's funny. I love him.
Transition to our Big Games BS segment, the Final Four and championship game for the Men's March Madness was held in San Antonio. Auburn played Florida in the Final Four, and one of Auburn's most famous alumni, Charles Barkley, has been recently been outspoken towards his ideas/feelings towards the San Antonio women. And what did the NBA on TNT do? They delivered. So if you guys are familiar with the Pop the Balloon challenge, Charles Barkley did this challenge with San Antonio women, and it was nothing short of hilarious. So enjoy this clip, guys, and enjoy the Chuckster.
Hey, what's up, everyone? We're in the lovely city of San Antonio, and we have the person who loves San Antonio the most. Well, we'll see. Come on up. Well, wow. That was rude. Give us your name. I'm Charles Wade Barkley. Gonna go down the line and we're gonna see why everyone. Hey, you believe stuff you hear on television?
Yes, I do.
Next.
I honestly am not a fan of churros, but I've heard that he likes to wolf them down.
I do. You got to get it with the
Churros
caramel
are
sauce.
delicious.
What's your name?
My name is Lana,
Lana.
and I just like my men with more muscle. Do you think Shaq is available?
Shaq ain't got no muscles, number one. Shaq just big.
Let's be real. You don't even have any rings. So I can't trust that you're going to give me one if you don't even have any.
Oh,
Wow. Wow. It's a good thing I'm not sensitive. What's your name?
Loida. And I popped my balloon because, I mean, have you seen his golf swing?
ooh, yeah.
Florida.
Pretty bad.
That's a low blow. I'm sensitive about my golf swing. Next.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
Why did you pop your balloon, Taylor?
So, you have a great sense of humor, but I'm just not attracted to you.
Listen, when you get older, you're gonna be looking for personality, a bank account, things like that. Oh, why'd you stop at bank account? Next.
I'm Angelita. I like to be the center of attention, and I feel like you try to steal the spotlight.
You know him really well, don't you? Listen, it'll work out for you in the long run because you're gonna be right beside me. Okay, we get shine together. Take it from someone who's sitting next to him. You don't get shine together. I am. Oh, that's see the way you looked at me. What's your name?
Jalen, I would never date a man who talks bad about my city.
I did not. Wait, first of all, hold on. You can pop it again if you like. Obviously, no love for my man Chuck here in the city of San Antonio. Our next stop, ladies and gentlemen, for Chuck, Galveston, Texas. Oh, Lord. Hey.
So one, that's a good. Just keep it right there. One, I was a little afraid when she said her name was Jalen. You never know these days, man. There's, you don't know what she's hiding in that skirt. But I'm thinking she wasn't a part of the community. I think or alphabet. But as a guy who just spent significant time in San Antonio, that right there might have been the best representation of women that the city of San Antonio can show. And I don't believe all of those women are from San Antonio. I think they were busted. It's just not a city where, a lot of mental health experts are telling the truth now on social media that women don't perceive themselves as realistically as men perceive themselves. Every woman believes that she's fine and that she's a dime and that she's a 10. That's just not statistically possible. None of us are absolutely beautiful to everybody. Women tend to marry horizontal and up regardless of what they believe. Men tend to go horizontal and down. Now, there are times when it's different. I mean, we all know those things. It's not different in San Antonio. There was not a lot of beautiful people in general in San Antonio. But the women of San Antonio offer something that other cities don't, because I think that the women know what Charles is saying and they embody it and believe it. Because when I went to that Mexican food truck, oh, it was so good, and the woman was the Mexican woman was so nice to me. I wanted to marry her. That gordita was so fucking good, and I'm like this. I was like, man, is this how she really cook? That's how they hook you, and it was probably everything else was good. Because if she cooked like that, then the seasonings got to be all up in her. But like I didn't know Eva Longoria's from San Antonio. But even that's a name you haven't heard in a while. Because while she's pretty, wait a minute, make sure I'm which one. Eva Longoria, Desperate Housewives. Is it that one or is that the thick one? Wait a minute. No, Eva Mendes is the thick one. Eva Longoria, Desperate Housewives, yes. That's the one who married she was married to Tony Parker. Just saying. Maybe it's the makeup. Because even Tony cheated on her. Like Tony Parker was like, I'm sick of this shit. And again, a San Antonio dime is a college 6. Not saying Eva was a college 6, but I don't really I've never seen her not made up. So, but the one lady that was like he was trying to sell her on, like saying you would have to be on my side. That's what the lady who made me the gordita looked like. So that's how good that gordita was. Like I'm telling you, that gordita was fucking fire, dog. Especially when you put the sauce. They had some salsa that was only hot when you bit it. And then it dissipated. It just gave you flavor. It wasn't like, you know how sometimes you eat something spicy and it's like it really fucks your mouth up? It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. But yeah, it wasn't no baddies. They cannot do a baddies of San Antonio. Like I was very great city though. I want to go back, but it's just not. And my homeboy was like, you can't even go to the adult chicken wing establishments like that. You got to eat a taco there. Like that's how bad it is. It's like he said they all built with. I think the term was tortas, and I don't think you ever want to be called a torta in Spanish, and by a Spanish person. I don't think it's, but they were built like there's a lot of mini fridges out there, and I mean mini fridges because they're tiny, they're short, so I'm not even a good. Give me a good Frigidaire, like a good refrigerator. Okay, we're in competition, but a damn mini fridge, brother, that's bad genes and everything. Ain't nothing you can do with a mini fridge. All right, what other BS we got?
So the last BS video topic we're going to talk about is one of your new favorite players, James, Ja Morant. He got a new
YN.
He
My
got a
favorite
new
YN.
Your favorite YN got a new celebration, and it looks like he bit it from Gilbert Arena suggested Ja do the grenade celebration, and let's just say he did it in no time, and it blew up the internet. So I'm going to share this with you all, and we're going to take a little sneak peek into the cause and effect.
Don't shoot him, just put him back in. He should do the
For him, it's a
grenade.
grenade. For him, it's a gun.
Don't shoot him, just put him back in. He should do the
For him, it's a
grenade.
grenade. For him, it's a gun.
It is. I hope he keeps coming up. One, he's got FU money, so he doesn't care. And I think it's ridiculous how they keep picking on him. I also, because I think it's also ridiculous the Kenyon Martin, oh my God, what Kenyon Martin said. Ja Morant, they got to put that in NBA 2K. But Kenyon Martin was like, well, it's because of what he's got in trouble for. So is it like, what did he got in trouble for? Really, what the trouble was, he was not old enough to possess a handgun. Like that's the first thing. I think he's old enough now, but he wasn't old enough then. And he had a terrible handgun at that at the strip club. Allegedly, he's had people point guns at opposing buses and all kinds of stuff. He has embodied, and what Kenyon was like, well, you got to think of the city that he lives in. Memphis is known for violence and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they were shooting cats well before Ja Morant came. And I'm sorry, man. Like, this is why I love Chuck. There's only one thing I want my son to be like with Ja Morant. Dribble, shoot, and play sports. I'm like, be your own kid's role model. Be in their life. Yeah, like I don't know him. I don't know if I want him to be like him.
Right.
I don't know a lot of these people. They can be terrible people, but I know they're good basketball players. And like the fact that you got to be understanding of what you are. And then I'm like, and the craziest part is listening to ONs talk about these YNs. Like they wasn't YNs one day. Like, I'm like, I know some of y'all. Y'all did way worse than this. But yeah, but we mature now and we did this. No, you're not. No, you're not. But I want him to keep figuring out different ways to keep messing with them so they can keep making these bullshit ass excuses for why they want to find him and he just keeps fucking with them. But I love the hand grenade. The only thing that would be better. Oh no, because he can't. Because I need him to pay people in the crowd like to sit in the front row when he does it, and like they just fall and they just fall. That'd be the only thing that can make it better. But like, the gun thing, the strap, the put your gun, man. Y'all act like violence just started in America. That's great. That's one iconic scene from a great movie. And I love that I love AI letting you be able to put anybody's face on it. He kind of do look like not Marlo. Damn, why can't I think of his name right now? From The Wire, the original Gang in The Wire.
Avon
Barksdale. He do look like a Barksdale right there. But movies are violent. Like what was they shooting people up to in the 60s? Not a Bronx Tale. West Side Story, right? A play off of Romeo and Juliet. They was the Sharks, the Jets, They was snapping their fingers with knives. Beat it. Michael Jackson, just beat it. They over there having knife fights. Violence is not about they didn't look at, oh my God. The NBA was pure. Everybody was pure. And there were still people getting shot. Yo, I want them like keep talking your shit, young bull. Love it. Matter of fact, it makes me want to buy some John Morant shoes for my son. If my son, I don't believe in wearing other men's names on the back of your jerseys when you have one. But if my son want a John Morant jersey now, you know what? Since y'all hate him, we love him. But y'all don't really hate him. Y'all just needed somebody to be mad at and somebody to tell you that that's not the right thing to do. Man, now I gotta go listen to that Lil Duval song. I'm gonna shoot for my dog. I don't know about you. I'm gonna starve for my dog. I don't know about you. That blicky. I love that song.
That concludes our Big Games BS segment and our show for today. Any last words for the chat, for the fans? We got 300 viewers in here, 256 on your Twitter, 11 on SportsDan, and 33.
I got a tweet. My guy Bradley Warren on Facebook commented on my post. He was like, Jago roll into the arenas on a no limit tank from now on. Hey man, listen, guys, there's a lot of things in this world going on, man, that's gonna kind of try to divide everybody. There's some real topics, and there's some fake topics and false actors. At the end of the day, man, find something like don't look for things to get angry about and appalled. Just let it come to you naturally. It will, but sports should not be one of those things, man. I appreciate everybody for coming in and chopping it up with me. Please, those who are on the Twitter, if you liked it, please make your way over to YouTube. Push the subscribe button, like the show, comment on the show, go watch it after, share it with a friend, grow the channel. As the channel grows, everybody gets paid. Outside of that, man, appreciate you guys for chopping 250 motherfucking 6 people.
I know. I just can't. I don't.
Thank you, Elon. Just make sure I get paid, sir. Elon, if you make sure I get paid, I will advertise with you. I would do all kinds of shit with you, Elon. Just make that bread right. Outside of that, man, appreciate y'all for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.